Gold teeth and a curse for this town were all in my mouth. Only I don't know how they got out, dear. Turn me. Hello, everyone. I don't know if anyone was watching that debate, but do you want to just see how bad, like, fucking these people lie who pretend to be smart? This guy said that America, Britain, and all these people really were evil towards Iran. And he said 3 years before they prevented Iran, and they're the reason that Iran collapsed. Here's the here's something called the Safari Club, which is basically where the US got upset that the powers of the CIA had been limited, and so they created this thing called the Safari Club with Iran, where they basically got the Shah's secret police to go and carry out the goals of the thanks, yeah. And also, by the way, the other fucking thing, I knew that this was true. I don't know if any of you saw this. Britain did not withhold a tank sale it cancelled the delivery of Chieftain tanks after the Islamic Revolution, although the sale had been paid for by the Shah in advance. That's what the debate's over. The Shah had bought the tanks, but then the revolution occurred. Let's have a look. And you probably should give the money to them. Fucking they paid for it. And stop. Like, also, by the way, these people are like, it's so fucked. It's so fucked that you're doing this. It's so fucked that you're giving money to the Ayatollah. Bro, we give money to fucking Abdel Fattah el-Sisi whilst he kills Egyptians, so spare me the waterworks. It's wrong, it's immoral, and we should change how we act, but unfortunately people just continually support it. Someone called Jacko sent me a message saying, not genocide, says ICJ. Brilliant to know that he said that. Fucking hell, my TikTok has 100,000 views in 3 hours. That is crazy work. But yeah, like, just when it comes to these people, like, they just lie. They just lie. It's like the guy who said, British support for Palestinians, 1950s. Like, even the fucking AI overview tells you, yeah, it was minimal to non-existent. He says it's minimal to non-existent. And, like, as I say, they collaborated with Israel to do the Suez Crisis. They collaborated with them to do the Suez Crisis. Like, when you tell me this, these people say crazy shit. Waterworks. You didn't want me to say it. Can you say Tuesday? It's Tuesday, innit? World the mental gymnastics. Oh, Jesus Christ. And as well, the thing where he was like, oh, so you're saying there's an international bank of Jewish people like those bankers? And it's like, what do you want me to say? I literally just gave you an explanation of what I'm talking about, which is Jewish people all over the world gave money to the Zionist project. Like, what is that? Yes, there were some rich Jewish people, but that doesn't mean I think Jewish people control the world. It's just what they did. Ugh. I'm fired up today. I'm fired up. Also, guys, I'll wait actually and tell you. Sorry, someone just commented, I love Israelis on my TikTok. And it's just like, psh. But like, honestly, it's why I should just like Google things and say like, what did you just say there? And I mean, he couldn't answer it, but yeah. White people we talking white people war crimes on a beautiful Tuesday. Innit, bruv? Oh, fuck. British stuff like Tuesday. Right. We got some news to cover, but I'll check if there's anything new. Actually, do you want to watch the Coldplay video? Because that is comical. Also, actually, no. You know what? We're going to see Hassan... That little boy, Hassan Piker, was watching me. So let's see what he had to say about me. Trump is sick. Hello, Zaina. Hello, everyone. Oh shit, actually, you want to know something that I just got sent, actually, that's kind of insane? Jeffrey Epstein was caught emailing Ehud Barak. Hopefully someone suggests getting authorization now for Iran. The Congress would do it. Talking about Epstein, talking about just wanting to bomb Iran. Hold on, I just want to see if I can find it. The Hassan thing talking about me. You're gonna watch me reacting to Hassan reacting to me. Okay, I can't find the video, so we're no longer going to do that. Rush of blood to the head. Slappity slaps. I always preferred Parachutes, to be honest. I like the song Bones Sinking. Wow, Coffee Lover, thank you. I used to give a ton of supers to a dude named Hunter Avalone. Always begged him to talk about Gaza, but he always avoids it for some reason. I found out he was paid not to discuss it by a group. I saw that Taylor Lorenz thing, and I haven't really addressed it, because I've mentioned this in the Discord. I was pretty fucking burnt out last week, and that's why the video's taken longer, but it's just got to upload after I'm done here, and then we should have the video, a new video out soon. Also, what was I going to say? I am going on... I don't even know who fucking Hunter Avalone is. I've heard the name loads, but let's look. I think you guys are going to like the video, but it remains to be seen. Is Christianity anti-gay? Let's have a look. Does he just debate people like Sneeko? Why does he just upload videos? Trump's gold card idea is laughable. Angry Christian debates me on trans people. Yeah, I mean... There's one person in the program who I do actually quite like, who's always been very supportive of me, which is... Her name's Ali, but someone had a video about her that I was going to watch, but I don't, like, hate her or anything. Like, I think she's a nice person, and I don't know, it remains to be seen. I feel like being... What song was I even singing? Don't Panic. Yeah. Good morning / afternoon, everyone, but especially Chris. Good morning, Silent Eye. Thank you for your kind message. Being converted by Vorsh is like a worrying trajectory to be on. Let's have a look. What was I going to even do? Oh, yeah, we were going to watch this.
Where did you come from today? From Israel. Okay, well. Okay, well, listen. I'm going to say this. I'm very grateful that you're here as humans, and I'm treating you as equal humans on earth, regardless of where you come from or don't come from. Thank you for being here. We're grateful, and thank you for being loving and kind. And although it's controversial, maybe, I also want to welcome people in the audience from Palestine. Because
I love this because it's just an example of Israel's problem. Like, yeah, you can have these governments who are just going to back you and enable you to do stuff. But when it comes to people like generally on the street, people are not happy with Israel. And I hope that this doesn't turn into violence at all. And generally it hasn't, because most people don't want to just enact violence on Israelis, but they just don't want to associate with them. And that's what it's been so far. And I think that that's what you have to say, because Israel has to feel the consequence for being an apartheid state. It has to. It cannot go on like this. It's wrong, it's unjust, and the treatment of the Palestinian people is just unacceptable.
we have a belief that we're all equally human. And, yeah, thank you for being here. Where did you come from?
But yeah, also, obviously, Chris Martin is libbed out to hell. This guy is like a... I mean, Chris Martin knows. Just listen to this bit again.
Okay, well.
They'll also... Like, listening to the boos is kind of crazy.
Okay, well, listen.
Congratulations on hitting that on the bench press. Well done. They see a country starving. Yes. When it comes to... I also hope that you manage to get 110 next. Come on, bro. Like the stream, everyone. Yes, Tony Soprano lover.
I'm going to say this. I'm very grateful that you're here as humans, and I'm treating you as equal humans on Earth, regardless of where you come from or don't come from.
It is a very libbed out take to just like say, oh, like I'd probably go like, oh, I really don't like what Israel is doing. You know, I think that like I really just want to say like Israel is wrong and immoral. But yeah. Oh, what the hell? There's just been quite a significant article released by Haaretz. I'm waiting for it to load, but look at this. About an hour before the Hamas attack on the Nova Music Festival, the IOF commander-in-charge arrived at the site after receiving prior intelligence warnings, but took no preemptive action. Bro, that is... Like, I don't believe this whole thing that, like... I do believe that Hamas surprised Israel in terms of what they did. But, like... I don't know. I don't know. Like, that's pretty fucking notable. Oh, it is working. About an hour before, Lieutenant Colonel Haim Cohen, commander of the Northern Brigade in the Gaza Division, observed the massive crowds and noted that only a handful of police officers were on security duty. But Cohen told military investigators he had no information suggesting that he should act differently or order the festival to be dispersed. It has not yet been clarified what intelligence information was disclosed to him that night. Check out the donations. Indeed. Thank you, Michelle. And yes. Is weirdly treated as you saying. I mean, it's treated the same everywhere. Like, I had someone comment on my video about people not wanting to associate with an Israeli soldier. Not wanting to associate with an Israeli soldier was about how... like, had caused the shooting in DC. A shooting in Miami or something that had... No, in New York that didn't even target Jewish people. There is enough information to conclude that they knew, so kind of odd for Chris to believe that they were surprised. Well, it's just more... What I mean by surprised is that, like, I don't think they could have thought that Hamas would ever achieve something on that scale, that they'd take over multiple military bases, that they'd break down the border wall in such a way. Like, I don't think that they did know that that was going to be plausible or going to happen. I didn't think that they thought that would happen. Toadberger's abusing his power. Obtained by Haaretz determined that it was a mistake not to consider cancelling or dispersing the festival during the divisional assessment held that night. I also just want to note how crazy it is. Like, when you look at a map of Reim, like where the music festival was held, it is literally just opposite a refugee camp in Gaza. Yeah, I think that that's probably a better way of phrasing it. That's just a better way of phrasing it, that, like, they underestimated them. I mean, of course Israel's responsible. Like, people who say, well, Hamas attacked them randomly. I was looking at this article when I said it. Oh, hold on, let me get it up. Like, just look at this. Like, this is a +972. Israel had just destroyed multiple Palestinian communities in the West Bank and was ramping up ethnic cleansing and all of these things. You know? Like, acting as if Israel, just that this happened out of the blue. It doesn't add up with the reality of what Israel was or is doing. The Nova Party, where 378 people were killed and 40... blah, blah, blah. An IOF not consider cancelling that night. A deeper discussion might have led to such a decision, despite the division's limited understanding of Hamas's intelligence and intentions and intelligence constraints. The investigation also said that Cohen miscalculated when he did not assign a military force to the festival complex, given the size of the crowd, the timing, and the sensitive location. By the way, when people are like... I find it so offensive that people celebrate Palestine at a music festival in the UK, like with what happened at the Nova Music Festival. Like, sorry, but UK music festivals, they're not regularly like, yeah, we're a bit worried that the indigenous people might rise up tonight. We might need to send the army over there. We need to put the army there. That's not like a common occurrence, bro. That's not normal. Like, why the fuck are you having a music festival in an area where you might ever need the army that much? It's not normal, is it? The investigation also said that Cohen Cohen remained at his home in Tiberias, northern Israel, overnight into Saturday, October the 7th. Throughout the night, Shin Bet intelligence and senior IOF picked up alarming signs of unusual Hamas activity. Although not all information was passed up the chain of command, he decided at 3:13 a.m. for unclear reasons to drive to Tiberias, from Tiberias to the division's distant southern base. Before he set out, the division commander, Avi Rosenfeld, reassured Cohen that there was no pressure to arrive quickly, drive safely. Rosenfeld told him it was unclear whether this reflected his complacency or if the full intelligence available at the time had not been shared with the division. Additional intelligence reached the division, and at 4 a.m. a telephone briefing led by IOF Chief of Staff Herzi Halevi and attended by the Southern Command Chief was held. During Cohen's drive south, Cohen received updated assessments on the situation. After a roughly 2-hour drive, Cohen arrived at the festival complex around 5:30 a.m. on his way to the division's base. In several conversations with senior military officers, he described firsthand that a large number of attendees, more than 4,000, and he described seeing firsthand the large number of attendees and the security arrangements in place. Cohen noted that he saw a force of the Yemen Counter-Terrorism Unit and another police vehicle positioned on Route 232. He told military investigators that this apparent increased presence reassured him that the event was secure. The IOF investigation, however, that only 50 police officers were present. It later emerged that several had left the festival by the time of the attack as other reports began to flood in. Like, when you think about it, festivals have hundreds of police officers at them anyway. That's a really small amount of police officers. The army shot a lot of people at the music festival, confusing them for Hamas. I mean, it's plausible that the army did shoot people at the music festival and that people were killed as a result of it. I still think that Hamas killed most people there. Like, I just don't think that that's, like, an outrageous thing to say. I definitely think the Hannibal Directive was implied. I think that that's, like, an undeniable thing that Israel used the Hannibal Directive. Because Israel's own government ministers have admitted it. But, like, doesn't mean everyone was killed by it, you know. Sorry, there's some news about Egypt, but it's boring as fuck. I'm selling tickets to Firefest 3. It's going to be right outside of Gitmo. What the Is that Guantanamo Bay? Well, I mean, in Guantanamo Bay, there's not enough, like, US... I mean, it might actually be a bad idea because there's a lot of American soldiers in the vicinity, and they might be doing fucking just coming in anyway, so... but for different reasons. Even after Cohen arrived at the division's base, and despite escalating alerts, he did not mention to the festival in his situation briefings, nor change the military's preparedness to... That is really weird, because there's... I've also seen... Like, it's reported that Hamas had not planned to attack the music festival, the Israeli police said. This is from 18th of November 2023. And also Haaretz didn't have advanced knowledge of it. So, like, when people act as if they just went and massacred a music festival, it's not really what happened, is it? But it's also just odd. Like, I'm just not this major conspiracy theorist, and I don't think that you should say that, like, you know, Hamas did... Like, Hamas were, like, just did nothing and Israel just allowed it to happen. But, like, also, by the way, I cannot find this article, but there is a video, actually, of it on my TikTok, which we probably could find if I go through it, so I'll do that quickly. How many... Oh, my video is popping the hell off. Where is it? Zionism is settling. No. Oh, fuck. I don't know if I can find this video. But I had this old video on my channel where I explained... It was from some documents about Israel. Because Israel is a settler called small, and also the is simply Palestinian, demolish Palestinians' homes, and they will do something. Israel wants Palestinians in a situation where there is no Israeli control, allowing other people to take their land. I'm just trying to find this video, but there was like Zachary Foster posted it, but there was information that basically showed how Israel split its forces, and prior to October the 7th, Israel just had the vast majority of its forces just in the West Bank. That's also why October the 7th happened. Israel was just hyper-focused on the West Bank and colonizing it. I really wish I could find this. One day I'll find it. Fuck it. We're not going to find it. Also, Egypt warned them. Yeah, I am. Yeah. Sorry, I just don't know. How did they know that Hamas would attack them? Because Israel has, like, one of the most high-tech surveillance systems. And there was even this thing to do with cell phones. That, like, there was unusual cell phone activity. Which they can just tell because they have such advanced surveillance equipment. But there's also this element of, like, fugitive parapraxis. I really like this writing by Dylan Saba. Check out the article. Artist manager describes Israeli rave massacre turned into nightmare. One time, Israeli organizers openly talk about how it was a two-way gunfight. Really? It's asking me to allow ads, and it's sending my PC into fucking overdrive, but I can see what you're talking about, and that's... Here you go. So this is about Zacharias Obaida, who's a really interesting guy, and if you want to watch a really interesting documentary about Palestine, which is made actually by a guy called Giuliano Merchames, called Arna's Children, which is freely available on YouTube, and it's about the Jenin Freedom Theatre. There's a bit of Arna's Children where Zacharias Obaida is a child. I think this... these children, all of these children, go on to fight in Jenin in 2002. All of them, almost all of them. Oh, don't even talk to me about the new PC. I messaged these people about building it for me, and they've just ignored my message, and they keep declining my calls, so don't even know what to do there. One of these kids is Zachariah Zubaydah as well, who's like a key figure in the Palestinian resistance in the West Bank. In fact, I think that's... You can see him. That's Zachariah Zubaydah. I think he might be the kid on the... I think he's that kid there. But it's an interesting documentary if you ever want to watch it. But there's a really interesting thing here. In the early hours of September the 6th, 2021, Zachariah Zubaydah, former leader of the Al-Aqsa Martyr Brigade in Jenin and director of the Freedom Theatre in Jenin refugee camp, lifted a floorboard in the bathroom of the 5th cell of the 2nd branch of the maximum security in Gilboa prison in northern Israel, where he was a detainee. Beneath it was a hole meticulously excavated with plates, panhandles, and other appropriated tools over nearly a year of furtive planning. Into it, he, along with 5 other Palestinian Islamic Jihad members, also inmates, disappeared. Around 20 minutes later, they emerged in a prison yard. In a nearby watchtower, the sentinel staffing it was asleep. Guard dogs in the area began barking at the disturbance, and automated surveillance cameras dutifully positioned themselves on the escaping prisoners. But the Israeli soldier who was supposed to be monitoring the feed was instead watching TV, and Zubaydah and his comrades slipped off into the night. And it's just really interesting because what it talks about is like how he talks about it throughout this, about how like they have so much power, but they fall asleep and their gaze moves away because they have so much power. And so perhaps it's part of that. And I know that's like an interesting like example to talk about, but I just thought it's a great article. Shipping the community can build someone in the community can build the PC 100%, but it's the case of like shipping it over and doing the money stuff with that. But I guess the whole thing is at least whoever were to ship it to me has the trust of they can just say like I'm a piece of shit who stole some money from them. But you know, I will get one. A normal PC wouldn't be that hard to assemble by yourself with a screwdriver. Yeah, it is custom design, and it wouldn't be that hard to assemble. I've just never done it, and I'm never gonna learn because I'm lazy as fuck and hate DIY, so fuck you for asking me to. I'll get you a new PC, brother, powered by toads and slaves on the treadmill. Good. Al Jazeera typically read everything and try to discern past, but I typically read everything. Al Jazeera is also like a pretty decent resource. Like Al Jazeera is a pretty decent resource, unless you want reports on the Qatari government and what the Qatari government's interests are. Like the Palestinian cause is an interest to the Qatari government, but it's not something that they need to lie about because it's just like what Israel does. Like this is just, we know that Israel is the one lying. Like we know that Israel is the one lying. Like, Israel is the one who has lied over and over again. I'm sorry. I remember when I debated Lonabox, he was like, you're turning the whole nation as liars. Why are you doing that? Poor Israel. They don't lie, man. Israel doesn't lie. Israel doesn't lie. They didn't lie. And it's just like, bro, everything we know about Israel adds up to them lying. Everything we know adds up to Israel lying, you know. And so believing them is such a joke. I don't even... yeah, I know. Funded by the Qatari government in whole or in part. I mean, it is, and it's true. But Qatar has better press freedom than Israel, by the way. Like, that's no exaggerant. I know that's not his... I know that's not his accent. It's just funny impersonating him in that way. Bro, I'm so miserable today. Israel killed a baby. And, like, I'm sad about that. But, like, I need to support them. I need to support them. Chris, modern PC building is basically plug and play. You can find incredible guys. Bro, I've had it up to here with you guys. I am up to here already with you guys. You are mocking. You are saying that that's not his real accent, but it is. Qatar have, like, a monarchy that is undeniably dictatorial, and the people of Qatar would no doubt want change and something better, but, like, you know, like, I think that the fact is that, like, when it comes to Qatar and Palestine, I think that ultimately it's really been shown that, like, over and over again, it is Israel, it is Israel and its allies who lie. I'm sure Qatar publishes certain things that are different and that Palestinians wouldn't want as well. Like, Qatar also has a stance within that. But yeah, unless you want information about, like, the Muslim Brotherhood and stuff, which I guess Hamas is an offshoot of. But even then, like, they're not, like, just, like, unequivocally pro-Muslim Brotherhood. Like, and they might report negatively on the UAE, actually, but that's good, because fuck the UAE. Just get a pre-built one, it's fine. Piss off. And therefore lacked knowledge of its location, size, and security. This information, however, was fully... Also, there are many state news channels funded by states, and many of them are quite high-class professional journalism. Indeed. Do Qataris have anyone like Princess Di? What do you mean Princess Di? Like, what do you mean Princess Di? What, like a beautiful, beautiful queen of our time? Who should have been the queen that wasn't? The one we love? You know? I don't even know. The people's princess? How dare you invoke her name on my stream? You are going to get banned if you're not bloody careful. Support your local high street. Yeah, I'll do that, bro. That's what I was trying to do, and they won't email me back. Cohen was also the officer who initially approved the festival on a Tuesday of that week. The festival approval form signed by him stated that the Northern Brigade, under his command, was responsible for the perimeter security during the event within the fenced area, and that the festival's security had been presented to the brigade and approved. However, Cohen said that even overnight into Saturday and before the attack began, he assessed that a change in troop deployment was needed. In a speech he gave upon leaving his post, while driving it from my home to the base, the thought occurred to me that I might be misjudging the situation, and that there could be a Hamas anti-tank cell I'm not aware of. Bro was not aware. Get the PC funds from Hasbara, spread Israeli propaganda. Maybe it's a more lucrative job. There you go, it's pinned. Please donate if you can. Hello, Sophie. I meant to message you, and I haven't got round to it because I was working on that damned video. Then grift and switch sides. Yeah, I want that trip over to Israel. I want that trip over to Israel so I can have sex with an Israeli soldier. And I'm not saying the gender. The Tel Aviv power gaze. Imagine if I started making videos like that. Like where it's just like, the Tel Aviv power gaze. I love them. Daniel Ryan Spalding. I love the Tel Aviv. That's why we love Tel Aviv. God, one of the weirdest guys out there.
And Samaria with hunky soldiers, so you pay attention.
Imagine I did this! Imagine I did this!
Judea and Samaria, under the Oslo Accords, was divided into different sections.
And Judea and Samaria, under the Oslo Accords, it was divided.
Zone A and B and C.
Oh!
Zone A and B are under the Palestinian Authority administratively, and Zone B is under the security of Israel. That's why we have these sexy IDF soldiers.
This is the weirdest thing. You know what I was thinking? Maybe I'll do a video about colonization and sexuality and just talk about this guy. But he's not even Jewish.
Protecting us. Now, the reason this land was divided was because we were hoping that the Palestinian people would want to build a nation. Unfortunately, they're not interested in that. They just want to kill all the Jews and free Palestine of the Jews. So they're...
Do you know what's so funny is that Fatah literally agreed to a two-state solution, and they believe in Israel's right to exist. They don't even want to get rid of Israel. They literally collaborate with Israel. These people there have full control over Palestinians.
A separate territory They're not in Israel. 60% of this land, Zone C, is Israel. But the Palestinians in those territories are in little enclaves. They're not in Israel. They're in a separate territory. People in the Palestinian territories that come into Israel and work.
You should, if there's a really good essay about, which I haven't read in a while, but I would probably even reread. It's that good. It's kind of about how people talk about pinkwashing and how there's actually much more to be said about it. By the way, Gaza throws gays off rooftops. Genocide justified. Yeah. This guy told me so. So this guy told me that you should actually, it's actually okay if Israel does genocide because these guys are gay and they have sex with other men and then do genocide, and that's good. Like, maybe. I'm not really sure. And then he gave us an explanation of the Oslo Accords. So I wish all the books I ever read were just narrated by this man. The Israeli soldiers killed the Palestinian babies. God, you know what is actually fucking shocking? If we existed in the time of, like, the Nazis, they would have, like, propagandists like this. Of course, they wouldn't be talking about gays, because the Nazis were, like, very anti-homosexual and stuff, and anti-trans and all of this stuff. Just, like, queerphobic, I guess is the term. But, like, what they would do is they'd have people and they'd be like, those godless Jews. Like, they'd have them being like, the Germans are such strong boys, and they're stopping the Jewish people being attacked by the... Sorry, stopping the Germans being attacked by the evil Jewish boys who just want to kill all Germans. Gay marriage is illegal. Oh, no, I didn't ignore your super chat. Sorry, I meant to respond to that. I'm a queer, but this shit makes me question if I'm not actually homophobic. I mean, it's a good joke. I should have just read it out. But what I was actually going to put up is this. This is a really good essay about, like, Israel's relationship. I think it talks about Andrea Dworkin. Because Andrea Dworkin did have a crazy view on Israel. She thought that, like, women should make a homeland. Crazy. I don't know enough about Zionism and machismo. Maybe that would be good, but I think it'll be about sexuality more. I'm going to try and pump out a few quick, longer videos again. This one will be up soon, and we'll see how it performs. Ooh. Can you tell me about Zach Polanski? Zach Polanski seems like a decent guy, seems pretty good on Palestine. Glad he won the Green Party election. I think he could be cool for Palestine. But yeah. God, actually, sorry, just on the topic of, like, Zionist feminism, Yale Scherer, founder and director of the Israeli lobby to combat sexual violence, describes herself on LinkedIn as an outspoken, outgoing champion of women and women's rights and human rights. This is what she has to say about the flotilla that's attempting to break the siege of Gaza and stop Israeli man-made famine of 2 million Palestinians. Greta got ugly. Just arranged, isn't it? Pedotroll is about to analyse this topic. Cohen commanded heavy fighting on October the 7th and during the war. Colonel Asaf Hamami, commander of the Gaza Division's Southern Brigade, was killed at the start of the attack. Rip Bozo, pack watch. And his body was taken into Gaza. In December 2024, Halevi was dismissed Cohen from his post. A few months later, announced his retirement. The IOF did not issue comment on this report. Of course they didn't, because it just doesn't fit with... It's just like, oh, it actually says what they did. I've never seen Austin Powers, bro, so I got no idea how accurate it is. And it depends what you mean how accurate for what. Like, the UK in general? I would say, like, a much more accurate depiction of the UK is, and, like, life in the UK is probably Peep Show. Maybe, I don't know. Look what the US State Department just released. It is in our security interest to hold the PLO and Palestinian Authority accountable for undermining prospects of peace. Bro, literally, you can collaborate with Israel. You can do whatever you want. You can you can collaborate with Israel. You can do nothing. You can be their little dogs who do security collaboration. And that's it. There goes. Indeed. Just because they have sold themselves out and want to stay. Yeah, I mean, exactly. They have literally just collaborated and that's it. She's turned the Wians against us. That's going to be Ethan Klein in a few months. Hassan turned the Wians against us. In like 30 years' time, you're just going to see a video of Ethan Klein, like, traumatized on his Instagram story going, that damned Hassan Piker boy! He's turned the Wians against us!
Said nothing.
But yeah. Hamas Piker turned the clankers against us. Oh my god. We all love Greta. I love Greta, indeed. Yeah, I mean, of course Ethan needs help. He hasn't even really been posting the last few days, has he? What's he been up to? We're missing the Ethan Klein content, of just something to post about. I bet he's posted some, like, anti-Hassan stuff. He's just posted about Taylor Lorenz. He hasn't even posted about Hassan. Oh, of course. It's so funny. This guy claims to be pro-Palestine, and all he posts in the last few days is massive protest in Israel. That's just not... Like, relative to the history of Israel and the scale of the crime that Israel has perpetrated in Gaza, stop calling that massive. Ridiculous stuff. Also, do you guys want to hear the dolphin noise? For some of you that don't know, I can show you the dolphin noise if you want to actually hear it. Oh no, that one just didn't record. Wait, where is the dolphin noise? Okay, maybe I can't show you the dolphin noise. I was hoping to show you it and show you that it wasn't a figment. No, not going to find it. That's sad. I thought I could show you the dolphin noise that my mic makes, but it's unfortunately not happening. Right. Let's look at the UK doing some goddamn authoritarianism.
Yeah, this is what happens. Britain in 2025.
This is what happens. This is a lie. I can do a pigeon. No, I can't do a dolphin noise. It's just my microphone makes it sometimes. But this is actually a lie, by the way. This is what happens when you're white and English in 2025 and you protest against Keir Starmer's two-tier policing and the hotels. When you bring your knife to the protest, this is what they do to you.
Genocide.
So I'm going to be placing you under arrest, okay? And I'm going to read out the reason for that. The time now is 7:10 in the morning. It's the 2nd of September. So, Patrick, you are under arrest on suspicion of committing the offence of Section 12, subsection 3 of the Terrorism Act 2000. You are alleged to have addressed an online Zoom meeting between the 10th of July 2025 and the 21st of August 2025 for the purpose of encouraging support and furthering the activities of prescribed organisation Palestine Action. You do not have to say anything that may harm your defence if you do not mention a question, something which you later write in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. So the arrest is necessary to prevent loss of evidence, prevent collusion with co-suspects, and to allow the searches under the Police and Criminal Evidence Act and to facilitate his interview.
Is the audio cutting out? Hold on. Curse.
Later write in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. So the arrest is necessary to prevent loss of evidence, prevent collusion with co-suspects, and to allow the searches under the Police and Criminal Evidence Act and to facilitate his interview.
Is the audio cutting out? No, the audio is fine for me. I think you just got to refresh, guys. But I mean, just like listening to this, it is just authoritarianism. It is just authoritarianism. Like, genuinely. And by the way, the only reason this is being done is not actually, I've said this over and over again, it is because weapons companies and the Israeli genocide was actually threatened by this. This is why it happened. That's what it's all about. Sorry, no other reason for it.
Okay. So that's the reasons for your arrest today. We will be taking you to a police station, as I just mentioned.
So, if everyone's happy, we'll take Patrick out. Okay. Right, Patrick, if you just follow my colleague, I'll stand behind.
Really great stuff. Whilst there are people protesting, like attacking, like you're letting the UK and you let people on social media literally just incite against fucking migrants, and like people who've come to this country. You just incite against them over and over again, and that's okay, you know.
Right, we'll see you later.
But we need to arrest this guy for terrorism. Yeah, he seems like a real terrorist, like an evil guy. Yeah, he dared to challenge the Israeli genocide a little too hard. So, whew, you know, better arrest him. Someone did, but like, and I mean, it's just crazy. It is just crazy. I mean, Elbit system, all of these ghouls. That's what it's all about. That is all about, all of what it is about. Like, they don't want people to target weapons companies. That is it. That's what it comes down to, because it actually threatens the UK government. And whereas the UK government allows these anti-Muslim, racist protests to go on because it's in the interest of the UK government. Like, it genuinely is. Like, I'm sorry, it's just how it is, and they will keep getting worse, and they will keep allowing the situation to get worse, because not addressing the problem and giving people someone else to blame, rather than realising that, like, I don't think that there's this big plan necessarily by like some shadowy organisation to divide us. I just think it's how capitalism works. Like, giving people someone to blame rather than confronting capital is just what capitalism wants. But then also in like a horrible cyclical way, capitalism needs like low wage people to be brought over to form a population that do like precarious jobs. Like, it's just true. Like, look at the boom of fucking Deliveroo and all of these companies. It's just how it is. And then anyone who dares to stand up to Israeli genocide is just like, oh, we got to arrest that guy. Oh, he's challenged Israel a bit too much. Whew, these people who attacked weapons companies, oh my God, let's get rid of them. Never blame the boss, always the employee. How do you mean in terms of the employee? In terms of like the context of the... Are you talking about what I'm saying generally or what people do? Because, I mean, Graham Linehan probably should be arrested. Graham Linehan is a very horrible individual. But like, look, this is going to lead to some kind of blow up. Like, this is...
Just some breaking news, the latest on this legal battle between Epping Forest District Council and the Home Office over the use of the Bell Hotel for asylum seekers, and the District Council is saying that the Court of Appeal has now refused the application of Epping Forest District Council for permission to appeal to the Supreme Court, rather. No reasons were given. It's now open for the Council to ask the Supreme Court itself for permission to appeal against the judgment of the Court of Appeal, which backed the Home Office. The Council has consistently opposed the use of the Bell Hotel to place asylum seekers, which is in breach of planning control and is against the interests of those living in, working in and using the...
The Muslims are taking our rights away. Meanwhile, Zionists literally are taking their rights away and heavily restricting freedom of speech. See, the thing is that I don't even think it's Zionists. I think that this is literally just what our governments want. But I suppose you could call a lot of these people, like Keir Starmer, like Trump, like Biden, like Kamala Harris, all of these people are Zionists, so I guess it's not fucking wrong. It's just more just, they're fucking authoritarians. That is what they are. They are increasingly authoritarian governments who want to take away your rights. And they're like, oh, they're housing people in a hotel. It's like, yeah, bro, the asylum system is stupid and it's fucked. Like, we shouldn't just have so many people who just languish in hotels for ages. People need to work and you know, live their lives, and if they're coming over here, they shouldn't be kept in this like liminal situation of just like doing nothing, because that's always going to breed like bad things happening, people falling into like drugs and you know, like dealing them, violence and that kind of stuff. And, you know, but like at the same time, this is not why you have problems in our society, and it's not why your government doesn't care about you. Your government doesn't care about you because they are much more interested in just massaging big business and continuing profit and maintaining the capitalist system. That's what they fucking care about, all of these people. They care about maintaining a status quo in which human beings are not allowed to decide for themselves and challenge what our governments do.
The area, says the council. So in effect, the council keeping its legal options open in that dispute with the Home Office. Just some breaking news.
Right, let's find out what Graham Linehan was actually arrested for. Now, if you don't know who Graham Linehan is, he is one of the strangest looking individuals currently, like really odd looking guy. So this guy is like the biggest fucking, this guy is like hugely anti-trans. He got he lost his wife, his kids, because he's so anti-trans. Like, this is like a genuine, like, derangement. Like, when people are like, Trump derangement syndrome, people have Trump derangement syndrome, that they like, they're deranged and they think about Trump. This is what actual derangement syndrome looks like. I hate them. Misogynists and homophobes. A photo you can smell. Where is it? If a trans-identified male is in a female-only space, he is committing a violent, abusive act. Make a scene, call the cops, and if all else fails, punch him in the balls. Is that what he got arrested for? Just like, oh no, that's not even what he got arrested for. Oh no, he was arrested for that tweet, like just inciting people to punch people in the balls. It's just like, bro, like, you've lost your wife and family because you're obsessed with trans people and pretending that you're fighting for...
The other views I have is that Eddie Izzard can dress how he likes, but if he goes into a woman's toilet with my daughter, I will pull him out by his ankles.
He, like, just posts like this all the time. It's weird. But at the same time, I think the choice to arrest him is also just to inflame the situation by the UK government, most likely. But, I mean, I don't know. It just wouldn't fucking surprise me with this country. Like, it just wouldn't surprise me with what this government is doing. It's Charles II of Spain. Wait, why? I don't get the comparison. Don't know enough. He should transition to a human. What the fuck is he? I mean, he's just a horrible, sad man. And I think that also what's made him look like that is just by how fucking miserable he is. And his life is literally just wake up, tweet shit about trans people to other deranged people on the internet who are like, keep fighting the good fight. And by the way, of course he defends Israel. Of course he defends Israel.
The worst.
In some ways, it's good. I believe that during the one of the things that Hitler putting Jewish people into ghettos did was it actually strengthened ties. It actually strengthened religion. It strengthened the feeling of community. And in a way, it's kind of good that we're being reminded that
That's an insane thing to say. I was just looking for his comments on Palestine, but... like, the thing is that, like, the UK is increasingly a police state. But it's not for people like this. You can tweet out anti-trans hate, but if I was tweeting out stuff like this about Jews, I would be arrested. If I had a platform that was based around, like, just hatred to Jewish people, I would be arrested. It's not because it's a police state. It's because it's a country. It's because it's just you're inciting violence and you're spewing hatred.
And the latest on this legal...
But, you know, unsurprising at this point that he'll just get, like, it'll just inflame the situation and people will be like... yeah, you know, he was just like a really good guy defending women's rights.
Wants to adopt a...
Also, someone asked about Zach Polanski, so I just had a video of him pulled up. Zach Polanski is...
VW, that's United Voices of the World. This is a migrants' union. And let's be clear, this is a total show of intent of what this party is. We listen to the poorest communities, whether they're migrant communities, disabled communities, the trans community, working class communities. Whoever needs us to have their back, we will be there. We will be there to amplify their voices, to listen to the most marginalised and minority communities, to speak with them, not for them, and challenge truth to power, to take on power and wealth in this country. And we absolutely recognise that migrants are very much the backbone of this country. Our country has problematic history that we also need to come to terms with, but also we have a beautiful history, a beautiful present, and a beautiful future of what we are when communities come together. So let's have a very clear Green Party message. Our communities will always stand together.
This guy, Zach Polanski, seems good. And you know what? Unlike Jeremy Corbyn, Zach Polanski is Jewish, but he also says, I am not a Zionist, whereas Jeremy Corbyn was like a bit weird on the anti-Zionism thing the other day. But yeah, I mean, we toads do not claim him. What, Graham Linehan? Linehan has actually attacked one young trans woman who was a minor at her time, destroyed her phone, tried to dox her. I mean, this is just a guy who is not well in the head. Like, this is genuinely someone who is not mentally sound. Like, he should be in trouble for what he says and does. Like,
Punch me! Go on! Punch me! Punch me! Go on! You love it! Punch me! Punch me! Yeah, go on! Keep going! You don't fucking scare us! You don't fucking scare us!
No one would understand it. Why did you choose this hill to die on?
oh, motherfucker. Yeah. It's just driving up engagement. But he's just a crazed guy. Like a crazed guy. Right. Now let's do Trump is sick. And we're gonna do what Hassan does and watch some other people's TikToks, and then I'm gonna read someone's thread. We can watch my friend Isabel's, because those have been banging.
Guys, I fear the witch is dead. I fear the witch is dead. Tomorrow at 2 p.m., the Trump administration are making a statement at the White House. Also, all of the roads to a local military hospital have been closed. This, paired with all of the evidence that we've kind of discussed before, the bruising on the hand, the lack of, like, appearances.
I spoke to Isabel the other day. Maybe I will have Isabel on if people want her on. I lost like 4 minutes, did I? Shit.
is the lack of scheduling. No one has actually seen this man on camera since I believe like August 26th.
Mossad got his... Jesus.
I want to say. Every single image of him, why is he stood there like... Also,
on the topic of JD Vance being more dangerous, like, what? Like, they're still both right-wing American politicians. They're both pretty fucking dangerous. Like, I wouldn't be that much more scared of JD Vance. What? Because he's got a relationship with Peter Thiel and all these people. Bro, do you think Trump doesn't have a relationship with these people? Like, all that will change is it's someone who's, like, much more of a little fucking freak in there that probably has less sort of aura. But also, they're just inept. Like, like Trump is pretty inept and just, like, does what people tell him if they just, like, basically massage his, there's just, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I just don't think JD Vance will be able to lead the, like, right-wing movement and have such a broad appeal in the same way Trump did. I just don't think JD Vance is like that. I think he's too much of a comical figure.
there are like 2 different images of him wearing a hat, walking around. Where is his hair? Where is his hair?
Trump does look very, very sick in these images. Trump is not looking good.
I don't want to get people's hopes up again because 4 million of you saw my last video, but genuinely, announcement paired with the hospital closing, paired with the fact that this speculation has existed for so long now anyway. Like, why hasn't he done a press conference prior to this? I'm pretty sure he's either about to resign, but he doesn't seem like the type to either he's about to resign or he's dead.
Also, the person who commented that he's playing... The person who said that he's been seen playing golf, I think all that golf shit's fake. I think it's all fake.
Fucking dead? Is Trump dead? I keep seeing people making videos and tweets being like, he's dying, he's dead. And then JD Vance gives an interview being like, God forbid.
You know what I think's actually going to happen? I think all of you morons are fucking wrong. I think all of you are wrong. And actually, what will happen is Mecha Hitler Trump is going to come out. He's going to come out wearing like a JD Vance, Peter Thiel inspired mech suit. And he's going to be like, this is the future. He's going to have no body anymore and just be a head. And he's going to be like, this is the new, like, Fourth Reich. And then they're just going to go bomb Iran, like, retake fucking Greenland and just go ham.
Forbid anything happens, but, like, I'm ready to take the job. The best training that I've had has been the past 200 days. Like, you know, Trump will serve out his term, but...
He's coming out as Mecha Hitler. Trust me, this is what's going to happen at 2 p.m. He's going to be like, I'm the first ever mecha human. You are all going to bow to me. And then he's going to have like a full bionic body.
Like, if anything happens. He literally hasn't been scheduled all weekend. No one has actually seen him on camera for the past 3 days. Which, and like, there's the other tracker as well as to like when he's last played golf. And I believe that is getting like more and more sparse.
Yeah, I think that... I don't think he was playing golf anyway.
There's also the images that come out, like, every month where he's got, like, huge bruising on his hand. And, like, the doctors of TikTok and the doctors of Twitter have, like, looked at it and they've been like, he's getting some kind of infusion. Like, something is definitely wrong there. Either he's taking, like, the...
Yeah, he's getting fucking Mecha Hitler infusions. They're readying his body so he can become Mecha Hitler. Trust me, I know what's happening. You all haven't been reading the Palantir briefings. Palantir, whatever the fuck you want to call it. That's what they're briefing about. Peter Thiel has literally spoken about mecha humans. And it'll start with like, they'll be like, oh, you've all been saying that my arm's bruised. And then he'll come out with a mecha hand. And then the next meeting, he'll have like a mecha full arm. And then the one after, he's going to come out with a mecha other arm. Then a mecha chest and everything. This is what you don't understand. He's going to have no body left by the end of his presidency. Mark my words. He's in... He raises up from behind his desk on 100-foot robot legs. Yeah, it's happening, bro. I'm telling you. Who is this source? It's Peter Thiel, bro. It's what's happening. It's what's happening. Mark my words, at 2 p.m. today, Trump will emerge with the beginnings of his mecha, his mecha situation.
Longest weekend off because it's Labor Day weekend here in the US, or he's dead. Which is insane.
No, it doesn't, Tony Soprano Lover. Be quiet. It has something to do with Trump becoming a mecha human.
Because it feels like the White House are, like, definitely hiding something. Is Trump fucking dead? Is Trump dead? I keep seeing people making videos and tweets being like, he's dying, he's dead. And then JD Vance
I just wanted to say, this was leaked to me earlier. I didn't want to, I didn't know if I was allowed to do this. But it seems that this is what's going to happen. There are a few concepts, so like, obviously I don't know. There's this one as well, where he might come out like, in a more like, this could be like an early one. And then throughout the presidency, he's going to become more and more mechanized until he reaches a full point of just being bionic. There could even be a point like where this happens. Latinos versus what is this? This has 15 million views.
Border.
This is like a concept. This is an old concept. I think they might have moved on. This is what's gonna happen. He's gonna come out in a full mech suit. I want to see if they actually show it like more. Like, look, you're telling me this isn't what's happening. Tell me that that's not what's gonna happen later today. New Donald Trump T-800 fear unlocked. Well, the T-800's from Terminator. He's gonna come out in something better than the Terminator. Like, look, he crushes a chicken. A Latino chicken. That's what this guy's like. But also, by the way, I don't actually think Trump's dead. But I do think that this is going to happen. Like, you're all conspiracy theorists. But, like, imagine how sick that would be. Yeah, that's what's in the Epstein files. The Epstein files are just how Trump is going to turn into a mecha human. Let's see if Grok can generate an image of Trump as a mechanical human being. Hey Grok, generate an image of President Donald J. Trump as a mecha. Let's see what Grok can do about this. You hype it up, but it's going to be Skibidi Trump. Plausible, I would say. Well, we have quite a few concepts here, because there's this one of him wearing a thaub in like traditional dress, which is not what I was asking. No, Grok, you idiot. I can show you what I'm saying to Grok. No, Grok, you idiot. Make it look like he's robotic and a half human cyborg, if you will. Chris uses AI. Yeah, bro, I'm using Grok. This is what I do every day. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's plausible. It's plausible. You're telling me Grok would not know about this? Look at that, bro. Imagine how sick it'll be when he comes out looking like this. Like that. Like, look at that. You're telling me that this won't be sick. Ethan Klein is using... This is what the realization of AI looks like. When it comes to people like Ethan Klein, they're like, please tell me about how the Middle East and to support my beliefs. This is what I use it for. It is supporting my beliefs that Trump will be a mecha human. Like, he's going to be. Tell me he's not. Tell me that isn't plausible. Or the cut of your jib. I am totally unhappy with what you have sent. And I do not wish you well. Understand people who become nuns. Mecha, but using up way too much water. I'm sorry to hear that you're unhappy with the results. I'd like to help improve it for you. Please let me know what specific changes you'd like for you to stop doing this. Even bother messaging back. Well, he didn't understand. But right, let's have a look at this thread that was very long about it. Grok. Oh, Grok's getting bullied, bro. I'm not sure I can tell Grok that. Well, apparently, Tony Soprano Lover told me earlier that apparently they're going to change it from the Department of Defense to the Department of War. Which maybe is plausible, but also I do think that there's quite a high chance that it could be that they turn it into, that Trump announces that he is going to be the first non-human cyborg type character. But also, maybe there'll be something else. I'm not actually sure. Oh, fuck. I had this, like, long thread that I was looking at earlier about Trump's health. I just want to see if I can find it. Also, by the way, you know, as like Ethan Klein is like, Hassan Piker is the Nazi and we need to drive him out of this world. Do you want to see what Elon Musk has posted today? Low birth rate is the #1 threat to the West, followed closely by migration. There will be no West if this continues. Bro, these two things are products of capitalism. A low birth rate amongst richer people who want for their children to have a better life, so they don't have loads of children, so they only have small amounts because it's so expensive. And also migration to then fill the need of, like, declining birth rates. And I thought Trump was going to end all wars. I did too, but he's actually going to launch the first full mechanical war. And that is going to happen, I think. And he retweeted this Captive Dreamer account, which is like a Nazi. Remigration is the only way. Go anywhere around in the UK and look around. You'll just see foreigners everywhere. It's truly sickening. The damage that has been done to our nation and our people. Bro, this just isn't true. You go to certain areas with concentrated populations of foreigners in specific areas, and you're going to see lots of non-white people. But I ain't gonna cry about that. Like, I genuinely think, like, being at university around loads of non-white people in what I studied was better, than like, being around just purely white people. But also, there are certainly parts of the UK that are pretty much just purely white. Every single one of these demonic creatures should be executed, yet Britain decided that their crimes should be ignored because Islamophobia. He's definitely talking about pedophiles of some kind, and that's not why they were ignored. They were ignored because they targeted marginalised women in in British society, and the police don't give a fuck about them. That's how Jimmy Savile got away with his crimes. That's how almost all of these serial abusers get away with their crimes. They target marginalised women who the system does not care about. There were so many people who failed that it cannot just have been Islamophobia. Deport Musk. Deport Gad Saad. Deport Gad Saad back to South Lebanon. That's what I'm saying. He's actually Canadian, is Gad Saad, so... Or he lives in Canada. Bloody hell. But yeah, like, I'm sorry, I brought this up because, like, I brought this up because this guy is just, like, retweeting Nazis. Oh, no, wait, no, what? Every single one of these demonic creatures. Wait, who was Gad Saad talking about? But, like, yeah, just, like, all these people who are just, like, I'm so scared about anti-Semitism and don't feel the need to mention any of this, you know, kind of crazy, isn't it? Kind of interesting. But apparently, now this was reported ages ago. This was reported by a random Twitter account that I saw that was like, yeah, actually, I think they use nuclear weapons in Syria. And they had compelling evidence, but, I just want to see if I can find it. Hold on. Gad Saad lives in Montreal. I'll be glad to meet Gad Saad. He's my hero, sort of. Let me see if I can find this. This is an image of what they're talking about here. There were people who were talking about this. It's not the same as a nuclear weapon. That is true. But it's still illegal to use, isn't it? That they use like a depleted... Is it just depleted uranium? That is true, though. You're right about that. But someone suggested something else. Someone was citing apparently a nuclear prize winner who was talking about this, but apparently there's actually right, let's have a look at this. So this wasn't the tweet I saw ages ago. The Moab is quite a unique weapon. Also, by the way, the Moab is the Moab was used on the weirdest... Look up what the Moab was used on. It was used on the Islamic State of Khorasan. That's what they used it on. Radioactive fingerprint of nuke Tartars measured in Cyprus. I don't know, this guy might be deranged because there's also this thing that says there. Similar radiation spikes are regularly observed at most monitoring stations in Europe, including a larger spike on December 3rd at this same station. Additionally, the increase depicted here... right, okay. So that might not be true. The IAEA has detected uranium traces in Syria during inspections of a site Israel destroyed in 2007. Oh, it's an old one, so it's not even recent. Oh, okay. Khorasan. The Khorasan province is, I think it's part of Iran, like, or is it still part of modern day Iran? But they were like active in hold on, like that's what it was dropped on. Was dropped in an airstrike on a cave complex. It was the first use of the bomb. The Afghan Defense Ministry reported it to have killed 36 militants and destroyed the tunnel complex, including a cache of weapons. No civilian casualties were reported. It's just like, this is a pretty inconsequential, like, it's also so weird, like they just dropped it on 36 people. It's not even that it was a dumbass target. It's just like, what's the point of that? Like, what actually is the point of that? But yeah, this is not the story I was expecting. So, yeah, it's just them talking about it. Israel bombing a site with nuclear weapons. I mean, it's, or like nuclear-related weapons, maybe depleted uranium or whatever. But not surprising. I mean, Israel, yeah. Oh no, I'm on the dust. Wow! Fucking hell. This is, apparently, in the US, you're no longer going to get taxed on tips if you're a digital content creator. That is actually insane. Like, living in the US and just not paying taxes because you get donations is unbelievable. And I don't think that's the same as waiting tables and stuff. I'm going to be serious for a second. Like, I don't think that's like the same at all. But that is wild that Trump's going to do that. But I just saw that, like, apparently this is what the Trump announcement is going to be. They have said what it's going to be. Okay, Trump's big announcement is scheduled for this afternoon will be about relocating Space Command per AP. So that's it. It's not going to be him dying. But he might be relocating the Space Command because he's going to say it's under threat because he's going to be attacked by aliens because there is a plausibility that he's becoming a mechanical human being. But I don't know. I don't know. That's just my thought. What was I going to search? Twitch bits are tips. I mean, everything is tips. Merbs have 9 tons of explosives. Aren't they just really explosive to produce? You're basically a pole dancer for politics. I mean, 100%. Has Elon not considered that maybe, just maybe, women just don't want to have children because it's mentally and physically taxing? Kids aren't free. Yeah, I suppose that's true as well. Raising kids is also mentally and physically taxing. Like, it's not like an implausible thing that's the reason that people don't want to do it, you know? But I think also it's just kind of a thing of, like, people make their own choices, and in a situation where you can choose and, like, say whether you want to have kids or not, people will make choices like that, and I think that that's their prerogative if we want to live in a society where people are allowed to make choices and do whatever they want. I just want to see if I can see, like, if there was this brilliant thread that was really long about Trump's health, but I can't see if I can find it now. Oh, here it is. And, like, by the way, look at how the Biden thing was treated. Pole dancing for politics. Yeah, I think that is a very apt description. But, like, listen to this. Like, I think that this is probably a similar Biden situation. Because Trump is old, bro. All of these people are old. They should not be holding office at this age. Like, they just should not be holding, I'm not pole dancing, no. Like, they shouldn't be holding office. Trump leaves White House again this morning, mouth agape, not allowed to speak with reporters. He once again goes golfing at his club, and reporters are confined to the tennis court, not allowed to speak to Trump, and not allowed to see him golfing, which they normally can. His team posts this picture with close friend and radio host John Friedrichs. After days of outdated pictures, we finally get something that seems current, but something seems a bit off. Other than the weird staging, we notice Trump's eyes are barely open, especially his right eye. This would be consistent with someone recovering from a minor stroke or larger TIA, who is recovering physically but not fully well. I mean, I think he's ill. I think he's really unwell. Like, I genuinely think he's going to die at some point during his thing. But also, this guy eats shit and doesn't look after himself and has always made out that he's, like, well and stuff. But yeah. But it's also an odd... I feel like this is a bit conspiratorial. It's also an odd smile for Trump. Large, overly toothy, and uniform. The rare times he smiles with teeth, it's smaller and larger on one side. It's not this clenched teeth-full smile. And his face doesn't push back that much when he does it. Yeah, I mean, that does actually look like a really put-on smile. That does look like a really put-on smile. He looks like Steiny from, he does look like Steiny. I don't think I can watch Always Sunny and, like, review episodes. That's not, like, a plausible thing. It's not allowed on any content platform, is it? I would love to watch the banned episodes, because the banned episodes are some of the best episodes. Like, the one with the Juggalo kid is so funny. That's banned in the UK. You can't get it anywhere without paying for a whole season on Apple. So then I thought, what about tools like FaceApp that use AI models to adjust a person's face? Since this isn't a press photo, we don't know if it's faced edits. Here is a sample of Trump's smile image running through FaceApp's smile feature on high settings. What do you notice? He looks beautiful. He looks beautiful. The signs are not good. Isn't it in Morocco? Is it in Morocco that they believe, like, they believe the monarch was dead for ages? Oldest surfing world leaders. World. Wait, what? Sorry, I need to respond to that. It's beautiful that the burgers are what will take him out. I mean, it's almost poetic. Yeah, it is poetic that the burgers are gonna kill me, bro. I've had too many burgers. Poor guy. Look, some of us are just ugly, okay? Bro, that's how I'm feeling today. Wait, what was I looking for? Current longest serving president. Wait, what is this? What is this? I'm just trying to find like the longest serving leaders in the world, because oh no, wait, no. That's not what I'm looking for. Have you ever looked at this list of like who the oldest leaders are in the world? It's really interesting. And some people are British. It's okay. Some people are British. Get over it. Paul Biya is 92. Don't know Paul Biya. Mahmoud Abbas is 89, nearly heading towards 90. Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud is 89. Harald V, Norway, 88. Ali Khamenei, 86. Jean-Lucien Savy de Tove is 86. Muhammad Yunus, Bangladesh, he is 85. Michal is quite old. Higgins is old too. He looks older. Abbas doesn't he? Abbas looks old, but like, how old actually is Abbas? Like, Abbas just doesn't even look as old as Michael D. Higgins. Like, he doesn't. That was Abbas in 2023. Like, he's old, but he doesn't look that old. I mean, he's an awful guy, but let's look at the longest ever. Giovanni Paolo Lasaris. He was 97. Bloody hell. Was Biden 86? No, Biden's not that old, is he? Maybe he is. I don't actually know. Elizabeth II. She's 96 years old. Prem Tinsulanonda was 96. George Tupo was 95. I'm learning today. Niccolo da Ponte was 94. And Malietoa Tanufamafili was 94. Robert Mugabe, the GOAT, 93. And he resigned. Is he still alive? No, he must be dead now. Oh, he died. Fuck. Beji Said Essebsi, Tunisia, dead. Paul Biya. Oh, youngest. I was gonna say. I was like, who are the youngest? Is too young to be on a list. Yeah, Biden is 82. I thought he was not that old. There have been rumors that King Salman of Saudi has been completely demented for over a decade now. I mean, Saudi Arabia and its power structure, it doesn't really matter, does it? Like, it just doesn't. Like, MBS is just like the main in Saudi Arabia. Like, I know he's the crown prince, but he's just the de facto ruler. Like he is. How old is Kony? What, Joseph Kony? Do you remember when that was like a thing when we were like younger, and it was like Joseph Kony is like Kony 2012 is doing something. What did he do in 2012? A surge of attention by US for the campaign Invisible Children Inc. was released. The intention of the decision was to Kony an effort to increase US involvement, and Kony arrested by the end of 2012. Oh, so it's about getting Kony arrested. I was a little young for that, so I don't really remember that one. But maybe Kony probably should have been arrested, along with Trump. Kony is still alive. Bin Salman, Abdulaziz ibn Saud is the king, yeah, but the crown prince is Mohammed bin Salman, and Mohammed bin Salman is the de facto ruler of the It's like how Mohammed bin Zayed is the ruler of the UAE. Wait, I know Mohammed bin Zayed is the king, but Mohammed bin Zayed is not the... he's not the king, he's like a prince, isn't he? But... it was smoking cones right now. Hell yeah. When we make the change, the app squishes the face to expand the smile. Lips furl in, smile finds back, blah, 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 blah. Okay, So, seemingly he's claiming the photo is fake. Okay, here we go. I believe this is what I was looking for. I believe there is growing evidence that the White House is covering up the fact that Trump has been dealing with TIA strokes. What is a TIA stroke? is a temporary blockage of blood flow to the brain, causing symptoms similar to a stroke, such as sudden weakness, numbness, or vision problems. Oh shit, wait. Trump should be addressing right now, right? Wait, is the White House? When is the announcement? It's 2 p.m. in there. They're not live. Oh, delayed by 30 minutes. Okay, okay. MBS is senile for buying a fake Da Vinci. Did he actually buy one? And that he likely had a more significant stroke this week. TIAs are temporary blockages. Ischemic strokes leave a lasting impact, but can range dramatically in scope and severity. TIAs precede an ischemic stroke in about 30% of patients and often result in long-lasting interventions to try and prevent any risk of a larger stroke. Now let's get what paints this picture with Trump. Someone said that he was dragging his leg here. Does he look like he's dragging his leg? Does he look like he's gripping his leg? He's using his leg. Then in a Times Magazine article after the election, we see the first note on Trump's hand bruising. So he's had these bruises on his hands for months. Yeah, I didn't see that either. The next medical event we see is the president's annual physical. We'll compare the medication list to his old reports. We notice 3. Rosuvastatin, ezetimibe, daily aspirin. At first, I thought this might be normal medication for managing cholesterol, and I've certainly heard of preventative aspirin use in the past, but I decided to interview some heart specialists, and I'm glad I did. There are 2 general takeaways, blah, 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 blah. He's just talking about how potentially he's unhealthy. I mean, this stuff is crazy, like how unhealthy he looks. I don't think he's well. I do think he'll die at some point. And this video of him trying to greet Putin is crazy, because I don't think I'm the best at walking in a straight line, but I could definitely do this. Like, this guy is not doing well. Like, I just don't think he's well. I really don't think he's well. I think he's an unwell man with very swollen ankles, who does not look very well, who is getting caught and will die at a certain point in the near future.
Bravo!
But yeah, right. What are we gonna do now? Let's do a tiny bit of... I think it might be a slightly shorter stream today because I'm quite tired and I've not streamed in a while, but let's do Abu Obaida. Let's see if there's any reporting on this on YouTube.
Israel says it has killed the spokesperson of Hamas's armed wing, Abu Obaida. A masked voice since at least 2007. His death marks the loss of one of Hamas's leading figures. Obaida, whose real name according to Israeli military is Hudayfa al-Khalut, gave his last statement Friday. As Israel began the initial stages of a new military offensive in Gaza City, now declared a combat zone. Its defense minister confirmed online that Obaida had been killed in a targeted attack on Saturday, adding it would continue to target top commanders. Soon, as the campaign in Gaza intensifies, he will meet many more of his partners.
They have claimed that Obaida was killed multiple times. They said that he was possibly killed with He said that he was possibly killed when Mohammed Sinwar was killed, but who knows? Who knows, actually, whether he is killed. Yeah, but I do think some of the things that I've seen with him, it does actually look like he might have been killed. And one of the reasons I think this is because one of the accounts who's very tapped into the whole resistance stuff, like, kind of accidentally posted to today that Abu Obaida was dead. But, like, ultimately, this won't change anything. This won't change anything. It is a big loss for Hamas in that, like, Abu Obaida was a very competent spokesperson. He was someone who was well recognized. He was a hero to a lot of people. But I think that ultimately, no one even really knew who he was. Yeah, there have been rumors about who he was. But, like, the thing is that, like, he was just, like, a guy who wore a mask and spoke out and spoke for Hamas. And I think that, like, ultimately, whether he's gone or not, the idea of resistance isn't gone, and it'll always be the same. It's like, when they killed Sinwar, they were like, this will bring us closer. When they killed Mohammed Sinwar, they were like, now we're going to get negotiations. And they didn't. They didn't get any of this stuff. And I think that the thing is that, like, he may well not be dead. Well, I think he may well be dead, but he also might not be dead. I think that there's a chance that he could... I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just repeating myself as I'm looking through things to talk about him. But, like, huge amounts of people were massacred. His family was massacred. And Hamas have not confirmed this. No, Hamas have not confirmed this. But the reason I tend to believe it is because, like, they waited ages for Sinwar, and they waited quite a while for Nasrallah, and Nasrallah was killed a while before. But, like, it was released. But, like, Abu Obaida is someone who was a figure of resistance, but the thing is that, like, the Palestinian national movement will go on and on and on. It doesn't matter if he's dead or not, if whether he's alive, someone will replace him, someone will cover for him, someone will become the new Abu Obaida. You know, it wasn't his name, but he was a good representative. I don't really know what I'm allowed to talk about when it comes to Abu Obaida, because, like, ultimately, the UK government declares him a terrorist, but, like, let's be frank here. One of our citizens, whatever his fucking name is, Elon Levy, was a spokesperson for a far greater terror organisation. He lived in the UK, Elon Levy. He is someone who regularly comes back to the UK. He justified far more war crimes and far bigger war crimes than Abu Obaida ever justified. And yet this man is the evil terrorist who I think should just die because he was a Hamas spokesperson. And his family should die, and I should just be okay with it, and I should just buy into the idea that it's going to fix everything, and that everything will be fine, and that's just it. And, like, I don't believe that, and I don't celebrate this kind of stuff, and nor do I think it's, like, awesome or cool or anything like that, you know. I think it just sucks. I think it sucks, and I don't think it brings Israel any closer to achieving its aims. I just don't. The resistance goes on. And as I said to that guy who was like the Israeli soldier, the one who I didn't want to talk to because he's like so proud of his war crimes. Like the second one, he didn't mention them. And also one of the reasons I kept getting banned on TikTok, by the way, I worked it out, is because I kept saying, I don't want to talk to you. You're an Israeli soldier. And yeah, I mean, they're just like the far bigger war criminals. But like, oh, sorry, what I actually wanted to mention there was Gideon's chariots failed. Hold on, I'll pull this up. Sorry, what is this? This is like BBC monitoring? What is this? Hold on. So what does this say? This is BBC monitoring. At a glance, Israeli media revealed an internal army document saying Operation Gideon's Chariots failed, despite official claims of success. The document said war goals were not met as Hamas was not defeated and hostages not freed, though achievements included heavy blow to Hamas infrastructure and leadership. I mean, like, what do you mean this is, like, being monitored? Like, let's see why it's being monitored. Ynet reported the operation was never in 2025 army fans and noted tighter media controls. Israeli media revealed blah, 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 The Israeli news website Ynet reported the document said war goals were not achieved, Hamas was not defeated, the hostages were not returned, though it listed achievements as severe blows to Hamas infrastructure and leadership. Channel Now 12 reported documents stressed that the fighting was conducted without clear time frame, with force preservation prioritised over the mission. And the report added that there was an inadequate handling of Hamas's guerrilla warfare, which made achieving a decisive outcome even harder. Planning and delivering humanitarian aid, which enabled Hamas to wage a false, reported the document cited failures in planning and delivering a false but effective starvation campaign. The channel quoted the army spokesperson as saying that materials were shared without authorization, without the approval of the RAF. Ynet quoted Ynet reported throughout the war. What is this? Why was this posted on BBC Monitoring? Like, why? Why was this posted on BBC Monitoring? What is this? I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, I read the article before, or I read someone's summary of it, and it's just like... Like, what is this? I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. Like, but ultimately, Hamas is still able to wage guerrilla warfare. And, like, dealing heavy blows to Hamas is such, like, an arbitrary thing. And the only way Israel is going to achieve its aims is through mass ethnic cleansing, because that is what its aims are. That's the only aims that it actually has or cares about. Like, genuinely, that's what they want to do. That is genuinely all they want to do. Alright, actually, we'll do a bit on the Freedom Flotilla, and then that's it. Actually, you know what? I may save the Freedom Flotilla for tomorrow. I'm quite tired, and obviously I haven't been live, so I'm just getting back into the swings of it. But tonight, there is going to be a new video uploaded 100% tonight, so thank you very much for all coming. I'm sorry to just end it like that, but I am so tired. It's been a long ass day. Actually, you know what? I may save the Freedom Flotilla
thank you again
for
for coming.
I'm quite tired, and obviously I haven't been live, so I'm just getting back into the swings of it. But tonight, there is going to be a new video uploaded 100% tonight, so thank you very much for all coming. I'm sorry to just end it like that, but I am so tired. It's been a long